Yeah, I do have to learn some kind of structure. One kind of structure, one time. My own structure. I'm gonna learn how to play a bunch.
blown away if we played instruments at open mic.
Yeah.
Alright, make a little comment.
Make a little comment. Wonderful. Here we are. We know somebody.
Yeah,
The underclassmen are going to be featured also.
yeah, let me see.
Whoops. Sorry.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
And here are the kids are all listed by what scholarships they have received.
Let's point out our favorite
Our
student.
favorite is Carrie from the Onion Shop, our little friend.
Wait a minute.
And we have Rusty's friend Nathan Ball.
Wait a minute.
And Raymond Dumas III is in here. With his Atlanta College of Art and Design, the Savannah College of Art and Design, and the Center for Creative Studies.
Mm-hmm.
Scholarship. Let me see who else is here. We know.
Are they afraid to put in Detroit?
What's your seat number? You're sitting right in front of me and Jeff. Or Jeff and I. Jeff and I.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it's a good idea, Ray.
His old senior citizen.
So true.
Rusty Dumas. Rusty has earned scholarships from the Atlanta College of Art and Design, the Savannah College of Art and Design, and the Center for Creative Studies. Maria Exler has received a softball scholarship from Brunswick College. John Fender, scholarships to various The next phase, visual art, Rusty Dumas. You will find some of Rusty's work displayed outside in the lobby. Congratulations to all. Mr. Carter.
Mom, right here. Keep turning.
Tracy again?
Between this job and his
My art teacher for the past few years.
I'm enjoying my job.
You graduated from Georgia?
How are you, Monica?
Stand back a little bit. Okay. Stand beside one of your pieces of art, your favorite piece. Where is it?
It's censored.
Okay. All right.
Let me focus in on it so we can read it. That's good.
But we can't do that.
Yeah. Okay.
My English teacher.
Good. Hello.
Well, we're not supposed to be still.
Okay.
I need wait, get back in here. Come on, come on. I want to go.
It's you.
Laura Freund, my confidant in English. Yes, yes.
And then you just push again when you want to turn it off? Come on, Russ, smile, please.
Well, you must have done a good job, so you can work.
Oh, that's a hokey smile.
Yeah,
Hey, Murphy.
I'm already on.
Yeah, you're on again now. Rusty Dumas, budding young artist, here with his prize work.
Governor's honors.
What do you mean? He's already blown.
About August. That one. And then
William T. Wood, principal extraordinaire.
Censor.
actually it's prior restraint.
Publisher.
Oh yeah, get the self-portrait series.
This is Rusty Dumas, feeding his ego through painting.
Oh, these are drawings. Get it straight.
Oh, these are drawings. My fault. This is a rough one.
Yes, that was very painful to do, and you know, keeping the electricity.
This is after
on for that
3
long.
months in Jamaica without a shower.
This is me looking really pale.
Handsome fella, isn't he?
I know.
Handsome, isn't he? Yes, I'm just kidding.
Handsome.
This is the lip.
Are you getting me in this one?
I have his lip. I have the other lip. Amazing.
Creativity and inspirational attitude. It's very nice.
You're welcome.
It's great to bump into somebody like you. So it's not often that happens. So we'll give a little blessing to the good vibes and the good people in the world before we start. And so, getting serious, I would say that this is a reflection on probably getting close to 30 years of life on planet Earth as a human being and as an American, which I have mixed feelings about stating, you know, an American propensity, because I've been more of an internationalist type mind most of my life, and I've certainly sought to connect with people all over the world and try to transcend the barriers and the confines of maybe American life attitudes, or just even being from a place. Not to say that I don't feel lucky for being from a particular place. So in my case, you know, you're born somewhere. So in my case, I was born in Laconia, New Hampshire, and I had some very adventurous and encouraging parents, and a very loving and generous family. Not without its little hiccups and strange. I don't really have the word for it. Maybe you know, common human experiences in terms of dealing with family, the proximity of your family versus your creativity. But coming out of the Northeast and living in the South a lot of my life, and then New York City a lot of my life, then also Los Angeles, California a lot of my life, and then seeking to spend as much time as I possibly could in Europe. Spend isn't really the right word. What would I say? Experience as many adventures as I possibly could in Europe, mainly based on the history of art that does exist in Europe, that I'm very steeped in and probably more versed or trained in than Asian art, although Asian art is certainly a big influence. But I know more about the painting tradition of Europe because I studied painting. and sculpture and European cinema. Those are my big areas of study, and they're ongoing areas of study. I can't really say that they're any less intriguing to me now. In fact, they're probably more intriguing than they ever have been before. Strange that you can study something for most of your life and then continue to dig and discover more inspiration as you go. So, I have to cover a lot of subject matter here, so the main thing is having devoted a lot of energy into creating art and being interested in art and studying art. I would say probably more time studying it than creating it, but an awful lot of time creating it. I would say that the insights that are there are well formed, and they're certainly rooted to the study and what others have said. So I'm really elaborating on or reformulating things maybe that other people have said, but it is the 21st century and we're quite deep into it now. So restatement of well-known concepts and ideas are kind of ripe for the times, because we are undergoing a reframing of our notions and ideas or precedents from the last century. So I'll start with what I see is the highest form of art, really, from my life experience, which is dance, which, is not necessarily the dance that people presume to know, but the notion of articulated human movement as being a key to unlocking our joy and our sexuality, our freedom, our inner passions, the things that move us the most. I see dance as actually being the most significant form of art to do that. And strangely, I find that these days, dance, especially the organic form of dance, is frequently condemned. If you ever see dance portrayed in the news, it's always shown in a negative light, and that's usually the Dionysian aspects of dance, where people are really giving themselves over to the real energetic abandon of dance and forming dance on the spot in the most improvised way. And for some reason or another, this always frightens people. Certainly frightens repressed square people who seemingly don't like to use their bodies very much, or certainly don't like to move around very much. So if you encounter people who are moving in rather unusual, aggressive ways, they find that terrifying, or speaks of something that should be suppressed rather than embraced in some way. And I really run counter to that, because we have so few opportunities really to actually celebrate in that particular way, whether it's the communal form of dance or the organic form of dance or the naturally creative, spontaneous form of dance. And then when you get into the choreography or the more organized forms of dance, I find these things to be remarkably beautiful and very transcendent, and it's an incredible way for the different generations to speak to one another across time. And a generation of dance from, say, if we were lucky enough to see a dance from 1,000 years ago, or 2,000 years ago, or 5,000 years ago, from any culture of the world, and we were able to see it now, certainly we would recognize it as dance. And it may speak to us exactly the way that it spoke to its audience, or it may speak to us in some slightly altered way, but it would definitely communicate something to us that was very deep and quite profound. So I find dance to have that kind of majesty to it, and I find that to be a really compelling thing. And it's something to really muse over as you're doing other things, because as one gets into aspects of yoga or meditation or other practices that relate to the body, the dance energy really comes to the fore, because you see how interrelated these postures and poses and articulations actually are, and when you can use them visually to create beauty and emotion at the same time, I think that really speaks to the power of the body, as a primacy far beyond language, to be very transcendent and mystical and very emotionally stimulating and shocking. I think there's something really, really shocking and amazingly deep about watching somebody articulate their body in a particular way, that in movement and in action, that's very different than an intellectual kind of pursuit or conversation. Certainly much better than watching a newscaster on television tell you about something that happened in the world or something like that. I'd much rather watch somebody downhill skiing very dramatically and kind of on the edge of control, or racing a car, or it's not quite as connected to dance, but it has aspects of it. But certainly skateboarding or snowboarding or something, where people are really utilizing the postures of their body to kind of create an emotional response in people that's kind of about being in flight or in movement in a certain way and being in complete control over it. I find that to be very, very interesting state of being in the world. And so that has some relationship in some way to music, because a lot of what music does is actually kind of provoke that kind of behavior in people. So a good dancer is particularly hard to find if you can't find good music. And I think there's a real direct relationship to very deep rhythmical aspects of music, and that speaking in visual terms to a dancer, that I think is really a very special experience in human life. And again, I see sort of tendencies these days to disengage those things to some degree, whether it's the communal dancing to communal music, the communal music experience and the communal dance experience. That seems to be, we seem to be on the edge of making some decision about that, something that's been going on for really since the beginning of human history, as far as I can tell. And considering that I actually chose to focus a lot of time and attention on painting and framing movement and colors and experiences inside of a rectangle, it does strike me as a bit odd that I would be so preoccupied or so moved by these more intangible aspects of the life experience and the inexplicable nature of that communication, because I don't quite know what it is communicating, but I do know it's really deep. I've certainly been in performances, Peanut Bausch performances and things like that, where I suddenly found myself in tears over the movements that people were making in this expression, or watching Baryshnikov perform Romeo and Juliet, and really seeing how movement can convey this amazing love, passion, anguish, all these things in that articulated way. And then certainly my favorite thing, which is the kind of natural movement of people in dance. I don't really concentrate on it as a theme in painting per se, but certainly movement and motion and a profound reaction to visual stimulus as a form of dance is certainly there. Light, maybe, as a metaphor for this kind of internal emotional energy, that sometimes comes out of dance and is expressed as joy and passion. I really focus on the positive things, really drawn to those more than anything else. been searching for this love. Oh.
I don't know how I don't know if I'm gonna play that clean.
sir.
Like this. There you go. Yeah. Okay. Leave it.
All right. Rusty preparing Orange Man. Take a closer look. There is Orange Man. There is Rust. Blanket chest. What? See what Noelle's up to over here. Noelle?
Yes?
What are you up to?
Fixing my model.
Preparing her model.
Had a rough ride.
Had a rough ride from Detroit to St. Simon's Island, Georgia.
100 miles.
How many?
1,200.
1,200 miles.
You know, you probably can't hear anything because the music is on.
Yes, you will. Most of us is Jack Palance imitation. It's not even a good song.
And spoil and canvas. How much for this Noel? 700.
700. With an explanation.
Zippy.
How does it go around your neck? How does it look?
Well, my t-shirt's kind of messed up.
No, I'm talking about the collar. They're cute. Push the, that's cute. Push the sleeves up, because they're going to drop it wherever you push it up.
Why?
No, because I think they'll be big and floppy and hot. It's
Should be armed with a paintbrush.
Still looking good, yeah. Still looks cute, yeah.
Like this?
I said they're all going to feel like they're in their maternity clothes again.
It's kind of clownish.
Well, I was afraid of that, but so what? It's going to be overly done. Cute. Come on, we need to get this work done.
Over more.
Don't do that.
You have to hang something on
Gee, Russ, do you think it's time to get the ladder?
Get the lead out.
Yes. Well, at this juncture, I think we should get the ladder out. The violence of this morning.
There's a block. She gets so nervous. You were fine when we were in Saugatuck. What happened?
Saugatuck. Let us get the ladder. Or are we going to do this first?
I think. No, those can leave.
What if you save yourself, Russell?
Everyone knows me in this pose anyways. It's just my normal.
Roughness.
Shut up. Well, you do the commentary then.
Well, I know enough to admit that my commentaries aren't as good. Or aren't good. That way.
I never said mine were good.
Yeah, it's just like they're so similar that every time we do it, it's like the finishing touches. It's starting to look good. It's getting together. The beginning of the show.
Come on, Rusty.
But I don't intentionally make them sad, right?
You know?
I just like, it's just, I don't know. I just kind of space out. That's probably the best way to describe it. It's just, because if I think about it too much, they never look good. When I think about them too much, so I just kind of, I just go over and over and over this on the same piece until something happens. But there are certain things, I mean, I do like misty, not very clear, not very fine.
Right. But was this just an exercise in form?
Well, that was what I did for my portfolio, and it was just kind of, I didn't have anything to do, and I started doing a lot of self-portraits, like faces and things of myself. And then my mom goes, and she goes, well, why are you doing it with such a small mirror? So, just like, she brought me a bigger mirror, and I always do it with my shirt off and stuff, so I did like a whole torso series because of that. So that's probably the best one.
Can't you tell he's just so built?
Oh yeah.
No, but there is a kind of vibrance to it. It doesn't look still. It doesn't look dead.
Yeah.
Plus we're on tape.
Don't catch
Don't talk so.
Catch that on tape.
Don't talk so loud.
Rusty's hat. Just a
Mom,
little.
Mom, you
You
just
give it a
don't-
pull. Just one tiny. That's it.
Ah, you
That's
got
it.
the feet.
Just have a little pull over one ear.
You can't just let it lay there.
It's paper mache. No, what is it? It's... Mom, what is this stuff? It's plaster Paris. That's what it is.
Looks like somebody got sick.
It's paint.
It's neat.
This is the new baby? The new baby.
Well, here, I'll let. Yeah, well, you guys do this because.
And look at the arrows.
Sam's just real.
Oh, that is beautiful. Ray.
Did it again, baby.
You're great. You're great. God, you're wonderful. Tell us to take the camera off. Take the camera
It was broken or something. Installed. I had to like personally
Wave to the camera. Smile. Have fun. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Merry Christmas to you.
It's a flower.
We have my
A dead
Joe.
flower.
That's all. That's it.
That's everything.
Signing off, man.
This is Whit Roberts signing out.
God, she's all freaked.
Well, this is after honors night, and I'm sitting in my car, and I'm about to go to McDonald's to see Kathy. Now, it's kind of weird how when you get a video camera, you generally don't know what to do with it, and I'm